and welcome back to English Lessons with Stephanie. This is Grammar Lesson 13, more on more and less. So, what do you think this sentence means? Every week I make more and more money. Does it mean I make money every week and it adds up, like $5 and then $5 and $5 equals 15? Does it mean every week I make more money than the previous week? Like the first week I made 5, the second week I made 10, the third week I made 15? Does it mean I would like to make more money than I make now? I make $5 now and maybe in the future I can make $10? Or does it mean I must make more money next week? The answer is the second one. Every week I make more money than the previous week. So in this lesson, we'll be talking about a grammatical structure called repeating the comparative, saying more and more or less and less. When we say more and more, it shows something is increasing or intensifying over time. That means it's becoming stronger. So in this example, as they argued, she became more and more upset. That means in the beginning, she was a little upset, then she became more upset, and then even more upset. So her feeling of being upset became stronger and stronger. So we first studied comparatives in Grammar Lesson 8. When we make something stronger, we can use more in the front or we can add ER to the ending. So remember that we use more with words of 2 or more syllables, and we would only repeat the more. So we would say she became more and more upset, or this movie is getting more and more exciting. Not more upset, or more exciting and more exciting. Just more and more upset, or more and more exciting. And if you just have a short word with one syllable, you add ER to the end, and you repeat the entire word. So like, she became sadder and sadder, or this day is becoming nicer and nicer. So if you need to review, go back to Grammar Lesson 8 and look at the rules for adding ER or using more. So just like with the regular comparative, we can repeat the comparative using all the different parts of speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. With nouns, we'll put the comparative before the noun, just like we made more and more money. With verbs, we'll put the comparative after the verb. Every year I work more and more. With adjectives, we'll just repeat the more and more before a 2-syllable adjective. It became more and more quiet. Or add ER and repeat the full word. The music became softer and softer. And with adverbs, we add more and more in front of the adverb. Similarly, we can also use less or fewer. So with nouns, we'll use less with non-count nouns and fewer with count nouns. And if you need to review count and non-count nouns, you can do that in Grammar Lesson 5. So we could say she made fewer and fewer mistakes because mistake is a countable noun. Or she made less and less money because money is a non-count noun. With a verb, again, we'll put less and less after the verb. And with an adjective, less and less in front of the adjective. And notice with this adjective form of less, we don't have to worry about the number of syllables in the adjective. We could say less sad or less interesting. And then with adverbs, again, the less and less will go in front of the adverbs. So let's practice. Complete these sentences using a repeated comparative of the word in parentheses. So pause the video, complete these 8 sentences, and then unpause the video to check your answers. So these are the answers you should have come up with. For number 1, notice that you can say sleepier and sleepier because even though this is an adjective of 2 syllables, it ends in Y. You could also say more and more sleepy. For number 6, we have people, which is a noun, so we just say more and more people. With number 7, study is a verb, so we put more and more after the verb. And for number 8, good is an irregular adjective, and the comparative form is better. Okay, now let's talk about a different grammatical structure called the double comparative. What does this sentence mean? The more I work, the more money I make. Does it mean work is more important than money? Money is more important than work? If I work more hours, I will make more money. Like 1 hour, I'll make $5, 2 hours, I'll make $10. Or if I work more hours, I will make more money per hour, like $5 the first hour and then $15 the second hour. Here, we can choose 2 of them. we can say both the third and fourth answers could work. When we use this kind of structure, the more, we're usually showing cause and effect. So like in this sentence, the longer we talked, the more upset she became. We're saying we talk, which causes her to become upset. We talk more, and that causes her to become more upset. We talk even more, and then she becomes even more upset. And for this kind of sentence, we use a very specific structure. We put the in front, the comparative, followed by the subject and verb, a comma, and then repeat the structure. The comparative, the subject, and the verb. So it's a very strange structure, but very common in English, especially when we're talking. Here are some examples. In this first sentence, it says, the more friends we have, the less lonely we are. This is saying if we have more friends, this causes us to feel less lonely. The more she talks, the angrier I get. So as she talks, I become angrier and angrier. Or the less I sleep, the more coffee I need. This means if I sleep too little, I need to drink more coffee. The next sentence shows the opposite. The more coffee I drink, the harder it is for me to sleep. Here, drinking coffee is the cause that makes it harder to sleep. Finally, the sooner the better is a common English expression, and here there are no verbs. We can leave out the verbs if they are understood. Here we just have two comparatives preceded by the article the sooner the better. And the meaning here is when something happens sooner, it is better. And you can see in these examples, we can use a combination of both more and less. We can put more in the beginning, we can put more at the end, and the same thing with less. So let's practice. Complete the sentences here using this double comparative. For the first one, the cause is that he talks, and the effect is that she laughs. So we would start by putting the in front, and we would make talks into a comparative structure. This is a verb, so we would say the more he talks, right? So we need the followed by the comparative, and then the subject and the verb, and then comma, and then similarly, the more she laughs. The more he talks, the more she laughs. So pause the video here and try to create the double comparative for the next 7 examples. When you're finished, unpause the video and check your answers. Here are the answers you should have come up with. Number 1, the more he talks, the more she laughs. Number 2, the more it rains, the taller the plants grow. So for number 2, rains is a verb and tall is an adjective. Number 3, the more I eat, the more tired I feel. Again, we have eat, the verb in the beginning, and tired, the adjective at the end. Number 4, the later I go to bed, the later I get up. Number 5, the easier the class, the less I study. Number 6, the earlier we start, the earlier we finish. Number 7, the harder we study, the easier the test will be. And number 8, the more you practice English, the better you sound. So to review, we've talked about 2 different comparative structures here. We repeat the comparative to show that something is increasing or accelerating over time using more or er, or less and fewer. And we can use a double comparative to show that a change in one thing causes a change in the other thing, using the plus a comparative structure and then the subject and verb twice. So that's it for today. But definitely go to the website and download the grammar sheet to get extra practice, because that's the best way to learn this grammar is by practicing. The more you practice, the easier it will be. If you're enjoying these free lessons, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.